My name is Mark Basir. I'm the Judy and Leonard Lauder Director here at the Portland Museum of Art. Welcome to the Portland Museum of Art and the launching of the Tidal Shift Art Prize for Young Artists. Before most programs, we do a land acknowledgement. I want to acknowledge that the Portland Museum of Art occupies land that was and still is inhabited by the Wabanaki peoples, including the Abenaki, Maliseet, Micmac, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot nations in what is known today as Maine. Time for words about the climate crisis is over. We do not need another person like me to tell you what we can see and what we can read every single day. Here at the PMA, we're discovering new ways every day to limit our carbon footprint and are planning to build one of the only 4 existing green museum buildings in the country in the future. We recently hired Michael Brown, our new Director of Campus Sustainability, to enable us to get to our goals. The PMA and many other museums need to be part of the solution to the climate crisis to show the future generations that we mean business in the cultural industry. It's time for action. It's time for action. We need artists to activate all of us to action on the climate crisis. We need artists to activate all of us to action on the climate crisis. In particular, young artists. Artists like our juror, Sophie Davis, who's here with us tonight. Welcome, Sophie. I said hi, saw her in the back. We need to ally with young people like Sophie to help empower their voices, their spirit, and their energy. Today, we are launching the Tidal Shift Prize, which was inspired by Dottie King. She's brought together the Portland Museum of Art, the Climate Initiative, and King Philanthropies together. Thank you so much, Dottie.
Good afternoon, everybody. And as Mark mentioned, really thanks for your flexibility over the last couple of weeks in rescheduling this exciting launch of the Climate Art Competition. I have to say that just over a year ago, I was in Central America with my husband, really fulfilling a lifelong passion of alleviating human suffering through the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, when I heard about this bold mission to empower and activate 10 million youth by 2025. And I have to admit, I was very skeptical. I thought, this bold vision to really try to reach out to youth in a nonpartisan way to find solutions around the climate crisis was one that I knew was necessary, but was quite skeptical in terms of how we were going to do it. Then introduced the Kings, as well as many of the advisors that we have on the Climate Initiative Advisory Council, and it became very clear to me within a matter of minutes in talking with them that this is not only possible, but we're well on our way within just a year's worth of programming with high school and educators across the country to really enlighten and embolden youth to take climate solutions. So tonight's an exciting night for us because it really is a sliver of what we think is possible and really the intersections of activating art as well as the spirit of youth across the country. So I'll keep my comments brief and really just want to again thank Bob and Dottie in particular for bringing this bold idea. As an art enthusiast, I thought this is brilliant as a way to really highlight something that is so powerful in the way in which arts inform how we look at the climate crisis, and more importantly, the solutions that come that are really necessary to solve the global challenges that we have. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Bob King for some opening words.
Well, I've had 2 people already steal my thunder. I want to let everybody know it was not my idea, it was Dottie's idea. We were actually in our home in California where Mark and Amy were our guests, and we got in this discussion, and she came up with this idea, well, how about using art to get people's attention as far as climate change? And she knows I've gotten really deep into the issue. I mean, seriously. There was a NASA scientist who came up with this analysis. If all the ice on Greenland melted, the world's oceans would rise 25 feet. And I'm saying, well, my property in Kennebunkport is 12 feet above sea level. Got my attention. But along the way, I've gotten very deep into the issue of climate change. And I think about how different ways in terms of communicating with people. And art, I think, is a significant way to get people's attention. I personally am building on the idea in terms of what I think we can do, and that is eventually we'll have a series of top art museums across the country and have regional competition and then a national competition, all led by PMA. So I'm just so excited about where our roots are, how we're doing this. I'm convinced that climate change is, without any question, the most significant problem civilized societies ever had. It's not just on the pandemic, it's significant orders of magnitude more. This is a really serious situation. Problems are opportunities and overalls, and I have spent my life investing what's the problem, what's the solution. I want to focus what we're doing with Kennebunkport Climate Initiative, now the Climate Initiative. I want to focus on solutions. And so I think art is going to be a way that we can bring people together to come up with solutions. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Bob, for your words and for your commitment, and also want to thank all members of the King family who are with us here tonight. This family's generosity, spirituality, efficiency is legendary. And I'm not sure if you all know all about King Philanthropies, but please do go online to read about it, because it would take about a day for me to talk about the work they're doing around creating jobs to solve the cycle of poverty, their commitment to scholarship and to education, and thinking about, it does get emotional to think about there's so few people who have such wealth who want to give it to make this a better world. And Bob and Dottie really are special people to all of us. There are not many people out there who want to give away just about everything they have in their heart, their soul, to other people. And it really has inspired us to think about who we are as an institution and as individuals. And I just want to again acknowledge you all for your inspiration for this prize and for the work that you do in philanthropy. You are a model citizen of this country, and we cannot thank you enough. All right, I'll fight back my emotional tears and get back to business. There are so many people to thank, and in the presentation coming up, we're going to really acknowledge and thank the team at the PMA and also at the Climate Initiative. I'd like to introduce, I would really say my partner in crime, our Senior Deputy Director, Lizzy Jones. Lizzie has done such an amazing job working with the Kings and the initiative to really think about this prize. And she's going to walk us through a presentation. I'm going to stand next to her just to be in part of this presentation as we present it to you. This Tidal Shift Award is just, I think, a major paradigmatic shift for this institution. As Bob said, we need to activate artists, and particularly young artists. We've not done a great job, my generation, another generation. We need to empower young people, because you all are the ones who are going to do it. Our job is to ally and enable, and that's exactly what Jono was talking about when I think his programs are really all about. So without further ado, we'd like to present to you the Tidal Shift Award and Lizzy Jones, the Senior Deputy Director at the Portland Museum of Art. Lizzie?
Thank you all so much for being here in person. It feels so amazing not to be on a Zoom call right now. I'm very grateful that you're not squares on my screen. And I'm just grateful to be here and sharing this really exciting moment. As Mark said, my name is Lizzy Jones. I'm the Senior Deputy Director and Director of Advancement and Sustainability at the museum. And it's my honor and joy to introduce a thrilling initiative connecting the crucial issues of climate change that face us, the way that arts can manifest change and demonstrate impact and drive solutions through the power of connecting art, youth, and action together. As Bob likes to say, time is ticking. Time is ticking. As we look to galvanize the will to change, it's time for a fundamental tidal shift in our approach. And I'm going to share a video that our amazing Director of Strategic Communications created around this initiative, and I look forward to sharing this with you.
From our beloved rocky shores and pristine waterways to the open, vast terrain of our wilderness, New England's natural beauty has long been its calling card. And for the communities who call our region home, whether fishing villages along the coast or small downtown districts, large city centers or destinations up to camp, everything that makes New England special is connected to our natural environment. Over the next decade, the promise of New England's culture, economy, and natural resources is at risk as a result of our global climate crisis. Now, the Portland Museum of Art and the Kennebunkport Climate Initiative are proud to announce New England's newest climate change initiative, the Tidal Shift Award. The Tidal Shift Award aims to leverage the power of socially aware artworks, reaching people in new ways to address a crisis that is otherwise too easily ignored. Through the prize, New England's artists can center our communities in solutions for climate change, inspire a lifelong passion around the natural world for future generations, and serve as stewards for our region and world. Art's ability to inspire social change must be harnessed to fight our climate crisis. And we're ready to learn from and platform the young artists who are leading this fight to shift our planet forward.
Now I'm getting emotional. Together, the PMA and the Kennebunkport Climate Initiative are proud to announce the newest climate change initiative, the Tidal Shift Award. This award is a juried prize for youth that acknowledges art as an innovative medium for awareness and seeks to recognize the emerging young artists who are facing the climate challenge head-on. The Tidal Shift Award aims to leverage the power of socially aware artworks, reaching people in new ways to address the climate crisis that is otherwise too easily ignored. Through the Tidal Shift Award, New England's artists can center our communities in the solution for climate change, inspire a lifelong passion around the natural world for future generations, and serve as stewards for our region and world. The goals of the prize are simple and powerful. Engage youth to use art to climate change and climate change solutions, showcase, amplify, and platform youth perspectives in art, encourage continued youth engagement in art and climate change, provide further access and inspiration to a diverse and underserved audience of youth, and encourage a lifelong and solution-based passion to care for our Earth's resources. The Tidal Shift Award is a juried prize, and it is important for us to consider the diversity of talents that we wanted to pull together to judge these works of art. We felt that the jury should have passion and dedication in all of these areas to weigh in on such an important process. Scientists, artists, educators, Indigenous voices, environmentalists, BIPOC leaders, students, activists, and cultural influencers. We have been so grateful for the enthusiasm that we've received by the individuals we've invited to be part of the Tidal Shift Award, and it's my pleasure to introduce them to you. The jurors on this prize bring vast experience across disciplines and are a model of intersectionality that we were hoping to accomplish through this jury. Sama Adurakib, Associate Director of the Maine Humanities Council, Sophie Davis, musician and climate change artist, who's here today with us, Dr. Darren Ranko, Associate Professor of Anthropology and Coordinator of the Native American Research of the University of Maine, Dave Reedmiller, Inaugural Climate Center Director of Gulf of Maine Research Institute, and Zanigi Artis, Co-Founder and Policy Director, 0 Hour Young Climate Activist. Their excitement about being part of the Tidal Shift has propelled us forward, and they will be thoughtful partners as we begin to take submissions. As you can see from their accomplishments are vast, and we are excited to learn from them. To that end, let's hear straight from two of our jurors who share their vision for Tidal Shift and their interest in being involved.
My name is Sophie, and I grew up in a small town on the coast of Maine called Waldoboro. And I play the violin, and I'm a member of Halcyon, which is a string quartet based in Mid-Coast Maine that partners with different organizations and uses music and the arts to raise awareness of climate change and to promote environmental stewardship throughout this region. I'm really excited to be a part of Tidal Shift for a lot of different reasons, but primarily because it's a chance to see what young people are doing in alignment with the mission of Halcyon to promote environmental awareness and to combat climate change throughout this region in New England and the state of Maine.
I'm Dave Reedmiller, Director of the Climate Center at the Gulf of Maine Research Institute. At GMRI, we pioneer collaborative solutions to global ocean challenges. And without a doubt, the foremost global ocean challenge of our time is climate change. It's why I've dedicated my entire professional career to helping people understand how climate change affects them and understand some of the options that they have to address it. After a decade of public service in DC, I moved to Maine to work on climate change at a more local level, directly engaging with people and addressing this monumental challenge. That's why I was so excited when PMA invited me to serve as a juror on this project. Climate change touches nearly every aspect of life in almost every corner of the world. But by its very definition, climate change is a slow onset problem. It can be really difficult to show someone a picture of climate change. But great art calls up feelings of immediacy. It can make the intangible tangible. Art can be the answer to many of the challenges associated with communicating climate change. The generation of talented young artists participating in this project are going to be the ones dealing with the most dire impacts of climate change. They're the ones who are going to have to live, work, and innovate in a warmer world. So I'm excited and eager to see how these talented young artists both perceive and reflect climate change in their art, and in the process, learn more about its impact.
Thank you to our 5 incredible jurors for going on this journey with us, validating and supporting our efforts of this prize along the way. We look forward to launching submissions to the Tidal Shift Award in October, and we'll announce the finalists and winners of the prize in April on Earth Day. We believe this is the moment where we can spark creative solutions to the climate crisis through the transformative power of art. Thank you so much.
I also want to be sure to acknowledge so many people have been working on this for so long. And I want to thank our partners, Jono Anzolano, who you've met, obviously, Julia Anders, Megan Cooper, Louise Stevens, Christina Matarang Stahl, and a special thank you to one of the superstars on both of our teams, Monica Hanover, who has done an extraordinary job helping us get to where we are today. I also want to thank Lizzie again for her work on this, Christian Adame at the PMA, Alicia Cole, and Graham Kennedy. Just acknowledge all those people for their hard work. Thank you all. So that's our presentation. We are so thankful for you all coming out and sharing this with you. The Tidal Shift presentation is now going to start going live, and we're going to have a website, and we're going to have applications, and we're going to spread the word throughout New England. And as Lizzie said, we are so proud of our jurors. In so many ways, they really are the ambassadors of this project. And through all this partnership under Dottie's flag, we're going to get as many submissions as we can and some great art. So I look forward to bringing us all back at some point in the future to announce some of our incredible winners. So thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.